Okay, so we did slope. We all know what slope is, correct? The actual definition of slope is the steepness of a line. Christian? Christian. Okay, in mathematical terms, it's the change of y over the change of x, correct? Right, Esco? 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 Okay. So it's rise over run is probably how you guys remember slope. All right. On the graphs, you're either going to have 2 points and you're going to count what the slope is, or you may have to use the algebraic equation, which is, by the way, what? That's correct. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
I can explain this simpler. I just can't think of words.
You know, have you ever built stairs?
Yeah,
that's slope.
Like that.
Rise over run.
Like
A roof too is pure slope. And then we looked at that one equation where it says y equals mx plus b. What type of equation is that? What's it called? It is an algebraic equation. It's a specific algebraic equation. Y equals mx plus b, right? Slope-intercept form. So we looked at all of these, right? Why do we like slope-intercept form? Yeah, it's also extremely easy to read the slope, which is the coefficient of x. Not x, the coefficient of x. And it's also really easy to read the y-intercept, which is nothing more than where it crosses the y-axis. Right? 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 Bueller? Bueller? So, these are pretty simple problems. Alright, so they're asking us, well, why don't you graph a line through the point 2, 1 and has a slope of 1 over 3. Now, don't forget, we can always make 1 over 3 negative 1 over negative 3 is an equivalent fraction, just in case like it's going to make us go off the graph. We can go the other way. All right, so through the point 2, 1. X is 2, y is 1, there's 2, 1. And my slope, I'm going to use positive 1/3. So I'm going to go up 1, to the right 3. Up 1, to the right 3. If I was to use negative 1 over negative 3, I would have to go down 1, to the left 3. Down 1, to the left 3. Okay. Either make a lot of points or use a straight edge to draw your line. Then make a lot of points. The more points you make, the better off you are. Especially when you come back from Christmas and we actually have to read points where 2 lines intersect. I'm sorry, Christian's talking and I can't hear you. Did I only go over 2? It's probably because I'm old and can't see the how many. No, they're 3. I got them 3. I'm 85 years old.
Really? 85?
Yep.
You look better than my says grandfather, it was like, even 70 something.
No, it says line
Like
2,
racism.
That,
So you
shh, guys, quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go up one. Okay. You don't start at 0, 0.
He's the
It tells you where to start.
You got it, Joey? All right. All right, the next problem. Through the point 4 comma negative 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1. My slope is negative 1 over 3 or 1 over negative 3. They're equivalent fractions, right? So if I use negative 1 over 3, that means I'm going to go down 1 to the right 3. Down 1 to the right 3. If I use 1 over negative 3, I go up 1 and to the left 3. Up 1 to the left 3. And there's my line, as perfectly straight as it is. Thank you. Now, notice, here we have a negative slope, right? Negative 1/3. Here we have a positive slope, right? Positive 1/3. See which way my lines are going? This one's going up, positive. This one's going down, negative. So if you have a negative slope, don't make it a positive line. Okay. Let's do some trickier ones. How about number 6? What's my slope? Now remember, this is in y equals mx plus b form. Whenever you have the y solved for, I can easily read my slope. What's my slope? Dewey? Huh? What? What's the slope, Dewey? Huh? What? Dewey, what's my slope? What is the coefficient of x here? -2 over 3, right? -2/3. It's my slope. It's my y-intercept. What do I have left over? +2. Good. So I'm going to start with where it crosses my y-axis. Okay, at 2. This is my y-axis. Here's +2. And I'm going to use my slope, -2/3. So I'll put the negative sign with the 2. I'm going to go down 2 to the right 3. Down 2 to the right 3. Down 2 to the right 3. Thank you. It is highly impressive, isn't it? Huh? What? Huh? What? Huh? Huh? What? What? ASCO. Number 7. What's my slope? What's the coefficient of x? What is it? The coefficient of x. -1, right? Okay, we could leave it as -1. When we do slope, we put it in as a fraction. What's my y-intercept, Pascal? 3. Okay, so I start where it crosses my y-axis at 3. I'm going to use my slope, -1 over 1. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right 1. down one to the right one. I'm going to put a lot of them on there. Or I could go up one to the left one. And there's my line. Okay? A couple of special cases that we went over. And I told you guys it would be easier if you just remembered what kind of lines these are. If I have y equals a number,
It's either going to be a horizontal or vertical.
yeah, one of these is, in number 12, I have x equals 5. So one of these is going to be horizontal, the other vertical. Do you remember which is which? Yes. When I have y equals a number, it's a horizontal line. Okay, my y value is always 5. My y value is always 5. Always 5, no matter what x I choose. So it's a horizontal line at y equals 5. What kind of slope does a horizontal line have? Zero slope. And where's it going to cross? This is kind of redundant. It crosses at 5. Okay. Which means x equals a number is a what kind of line? Vertical line. And its slope is undefined. Good. There's only one vertical line that has a y-intercept, right? Yeah, the y-axis. The equation of the y-axis is x equals 0. Okay. Any other vertical line is not going to have a y-intercept. Because, it doesn't cross. If any other vertical line is not going to cross my y line. So for x equal 5, there's no y-intercept. Because there's no y-intercept. It doesn't cross the y-axis. And you guys know how to find the slope of a line. We did, I think, 2 worksheets on this. You pick 2 points, preferably where they cross the grid of your graph. And you just count, how do I get from one point to the other? Well, I'm going to go down 2 and to the right 1. So negative 2 over 1, or negative 2.
Wait, which one is that?
Number 9.
Oh, okay. So number 8, we just put the number 1.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to finish page 1. I'll write it up here. I want you to finish page 1. I want you to skip page 2. You can do page 3.
Wait, are we skipping page 3 too?
No, you're going to do page 3. And you can do page 4. For your practice work. We'll do page 2 and 5 and another sheet tomorrow. Yes. Do pages 1, 3, and 4. questions, comments, concerns? Anybody want any cheeses?
Yes.